Hi, this is Ian Canefire, and I just want to explain to you multis, programs, parts, and I'm going to show you some effects. On this screen, you're seeing Ak.sys. On this screen, you're seeing the MPC 4000. Underneath it is my Z4, which you can't see. And then on this screen, you're seeing the view of everybody. Ak.sys, Akai's venerable software. This is the multi-screen. And what you see in front of you, this is the MPC's multi, the MPC 4000 multi. And right now I have vocals, drums, and a sample loop in here. Then this one is the Z4's multi. Okay. And this is your little editor window, from which you can bring up, your pad editors and whatnot. Everybody knows you have your samples. You're putting it in the Akai's memory bank, in the sample pool, the sample list from which you're going to be going in and out of. Some people load all their samples before they use this machine. I just take out a few choice ones. Then you have programs. Programs, as you see on the Akai screen, I have 4 programs loaded, right? Now, with these programs, samples are within them. All of these are individual programs. What happens next? You then go into multi-mix page. Here you see 1 through 12. And beside it you see part 1 through 12. You have 128 parts in any multi. This is what multis are. Multis are simply multiple programs put together in an order as you would like. You can have the same multi in many different parts. The funny thing is, looking at this now, it's like so simple, but this is not how I was working in the MPC. And I was not really using Ak.sys. Now, if we go to the Ak.sys screen, if you were working with Ak.sys, a lot of this would just have made sense from the jump. Because when you look at Ak.sys, as Feline was saying on the MPC forums, it's simply a channel mixer, and it's got individual instruments on each channel. That's the best way to think of multis. But you see, the little zinger that you have to know is that you can put any program anywhere you want, or double them up, or have 3 or 4 of them, or whatever. Why? Because of all the functionality that you get within each part. This is why it kicks ass. So I have vocals here, I have vocals here. What that means is, now just look all the way up the line of what it can do. You have your volume, you have your groupings. The groupings are cool because you can say group 2 and 2 together, and then when you pull them, they link together, right? So you can do that with any ones you want. Solo, mute, panning, your output. If you have the ADAT or the multiple output, you have more outputs to choose from. Your effects sends. I might mess with this if we have a little bit of time. Fine and semi-tuning, and your MIDI channel. Here's where it gets deep. The MIDI channels, because this is the MIDI receive. So you can change it up. What is going to trigger what within your sequencer. It can get deep, and it's very cool. You have your program number, and then you have your key range. The effects are what make this, because you can have the vocals here having one set of effects, and vocal 2 be a totally other package set of effects. In fact, that's it. It's like you have your own little packages for your sounds. I've heard of 3 different ways of using this thing now. The way I was doing it, I was simply loading samples working in one program, going into main, and then rocking out in that one program. I would use the sequence, and then multiple tracks in sequence one, do a variation in, sequence two, making sure that if I had a bass drum on track one, kick drum on track two, snare on track three, I just made sure that I kept it the same way in each sequence. And I just kind of kept it organized like that and just kept running with it. And then I'd make a song, and then, from the song page, and then you list out the song by the sequence, convert that song into a sequence. That's what I used to do. I never messed with multis. Some other cats I'm hearing don't even mess with more than one sequence. They're in one sequence, and they're just rocking out in all the different tracks. Because as we all know, you have 128 tracks. Sequence, you have 128 sequences. And in each sequence, you have your tracks. And as we know, we already loaded up different programs, right? So what we're going to do now is we go down to part. This part is what I was talking about in the multi-screen, whereas you have all your different parts. So whereas in part one I have vocals, part two I have vocals. So you just have to know. You always have to remember to keep your parts and your tracks in order. That was parts, right? Then after that you have your MIDI out A, B, C, and D. Okay? Then you have your internal bus structure, INT-A and INT-B, and each of these has 16 channels, because this is the internal MIDI bus going to the sampler that's inside the MPC. The MPC already has like a Z4 inside it. What I was going to do is go to part, and if we go to 3, right, you see this, the drums? So what I'd want to do is put the kick. Find a kick. Record, play, start. All right, so we have that. So we know kicks are on that. Usually I'd write all these things out. Like right here I'd write, kick or something, but we're not gonna mess around and do all that. So we'd go to track 2. Part 4, because we have drums, the same drum. Remember, multi, you see the part list, and I have the drums on 3 and 4. So let's just separate them out, because then what'll happen is, looking back on the multi-screen, that means that the fader for this one will toggle the kick, and the fader for this one will toggle the snare or whatever we're going to use, right? So 4. All right, those are separated, and were I to play it right now, and then I go to the Ak.sys screen, you'll see. I'll just lower the kick drum goes out, snare goes out, or stick, whatever. All right, so we're starting, you get it pretty much now. So now we're just let me just throw in the vocal real quick then. Let's go to track 3. 1, vocal. And record. Hey. Let's go into the effects so that you can see how bad this machine can be. So we turn on the effects. We're going to go to effects on the vocal. Okay, so here's chorus mono. right, so you guys get the point with that. I want to show one last little thing. I mean, I could have gone through, there's so many different effects in here, but it's not really what this video is about. I just kind of wanted to show you. I'll just scroll through so you can see all of the different effects. Yeah, reverb played. Oh, I really should, maybe I'll try reverb. I just want to hear what it sounds like. I haven't used this. I usually use external effects, so let's see. Modulation Matrix. That's going to be the next video, but let me just give you a quick snippet into it. So we go to Programs, Key Group Mix. Okay, go into any one of these parameters, right? Any one of these edited parameters. Scroll down, and then if you hit the window button, it takes you into the Modulation Matrix. The way to get into it in Ak.sys, which is really easy, is say you go into your program, like this effects one, and double click it, it opens up. Then you have this nice, pretty screen here. And let me lower these just so that it's not confusing. So, modulation, bam. So you see everything. This is a great thing. This is what makes the MPC so powerful, frankly. These are like all the plugin channels in a analog board or something, right? You know, we have all the different wires going every different way. Tilt, velocity, I mean, just look at everything that opens up, man. This is everything you have. And in fact, we're working on a dictionary right now in the MPC forum for all of the phrases and what they mean. These external ones tend to deal with the Q-links, Q-link knobs, although you can use controller as well for that. This is the source, right? So you're going to mess with something here, then you choose the depth, how much is going to go into it, and you go into the amp, you know, this side, the destination, what exactly you are messing with. And as you can see, amp, you know, pan, pitch, LFO, you name it. And then it gets really deep when you start doubling up on things. So you can have tilt velocity going to LFO rate. Then you can have, as you see, LFO down here, but you can have like, you know, LFO here too. Boom. And then the LFO is messing with its own cutoff. Then the LFO is, you know, you can have like the mod wheel, then messing with the LFO's phase. And you can just get like crazy. We went over a couple of things. MPC's the bomb. Peace.